Hello everyone, we are back doing our Oak National Academy daily recap. I didn't upload for 3 days because, well, first on Friday we had a national celebration and I just didn't do it then because it's a holiday. And secondly, Saturday and Sunday they are weekends, so yeah. So we are back. Today is the 11th, Monday, 11th of May, and let's get straight into this. So first, lesson one, you have maths to describe coordinate positions on a grid. So in this unit, for usually this week, it might last longer. You're going to develop your understanding of coordinates in all 4 quadrants, including developing skills using negative numbers, using this understanding to draw, translate, and reflect shapes on a coordinate grid. You will use this knowledge to find missing coordinates in a range of 2D shapes in problems both with and without grid lines, and deepen your understanding of 3D shapes through exploring nets. You will also learn to define the parts of a circle before applying this to solve problems. In today's lesson, you're going to learn how to describe the positions of coordinates on a full coordinate grid. So when you start the lesson, you're going to have an introductory quiz here. What are coordinates? Coordinates are numbers that identify the position on a grid. So which image shows correctly labeled axes? That's A. When identifying the position of a point on a grid, which axis should be read first? That'll be X. A is at position 3, 2 on the grid. What are the coordinates for point B? That'll be 1, 3. What are the coordinates of point A? That is 1, 0. 1, 0. After that, you would have your video with Mrs. Parsons. You're going to look at some key vocabulary like axes, axis, coordinates, quadrants, and stuff like that. And also you're going to learn how to understand and write coordinates properly. After that, you would have your independent task here. So question 1, write the coordinates of each point. So question number A would be negative 7, 5. B would be minus 12, minus 6. C would be minus 3, minus 3. D would be minus 1, 0. E would be 0, 7. F would be 11, 6. G would be 4, 3. H would be 3, 0. I would be 5, minus 8, negative 8. J would be 10, negative 6. After that, question 2. A, B, C, and D are the vertices of a rectangle. What are the coordinates of point D? So point D, it would be here. So that the answer would be minus 5, 0. Minus 5, 0. Question 3. A, B, C, and D are the vertices of a square. What are the coordinates of point D? So here, the answer would be 3, negative 2. 3, negative 2. After that, question 4. A, B, C are the vertices of an isosceles triangle. Point C is the same y coordinate as B. What are the coordinates of point C? The answer here, the coordinates, they would be here. The answer would be minus 3, minus 4. So the coordinates would be there. Question 5. Here is a square on the coordinate grid. Write the coordinates of points A and B. So here's the answer here. So answer for A would be 2, 9, and the answer for B would be 6, 9. So after that, you would go and mark your answers, and after you would have marked them, you have your exit quiz here. Describe the position of point A on the coordinate grid. So that would be 4, 3. Describe the position of point B on the coordinate grid. That would be minus 50. That would be minus 50. Describe the position of point C on the coordinate grid. That would be 3, 2. Describe the coordinates of the point in the bottom left quadrant of the grid here. So the coordinates here, all the coordinates in that quadrant there, they would all be negative. Negative x, negative y. Points A, B, C, and D are vertices of a rectangle. What are the coordinates of point D? Point D? So I'm guessing this is that it means rectangle. Yeah. Oh yeah. And so the answer would be here. It would be minus 4, minus 6. After that, you would have completed maths, and now you would go on to question 2, foundation, to write an essay about the First and Second World Wars. In this lesson, you're going to start writing an essay. You're going to write the whole essay over the course of 2 lessons. This will give you the opportunity to review all of your learning so far and organize your knowledge into a long piece of writing, answering a big question about this fascinating and horrifying period of history. So when you start, you're going to have your introductory quiz. This is the Prime Minister of France at the end of the First World War. What was his name? Is Georges Clemenceau. Put these events in order. So first, Archduke Franz Ferdinand is assassinated. Then, second, Russia declares war on Germany declares war on Russia. Then Germany invades Belgium. Then Britain declares war on Germany. Who unified Germany, Prussia in 1871? That's Otto von Bismarck. Which Prime Minister followed a policy of appeasement? That's Neville Chamberlain. So the First World War lasted for 4 years. After that, you would have your video with Mr. Hutchinson. So in that video, you're gonna look at some of the key points in the lessons that you've learned so far. And then you're going to look at an essay plan and plan your essay. After you planned your essay, you would then have to write the first 3 paragraphs of your essay, and you're going to do the next 3 in the next lesson. So this is the sheet where you could look at all the information here, and this is the plan here at the for what you should have written today. So after that, you can't really mark it. So after that, you'd have your exit quiz here. Germany was invited to a peace conference. That's false. Who united Germany in 1871? That's Otto von Bismarck. Put these events in the correct order. That would be first, Austria-Hungary delivers an ultimatum to Serbia. Then Russia mobilizes their army. Then France declares war on Germany. Then Germany declares war on Russia. Then France declares war on Germany. After that, you've got approximately how far could a Paris gun fire an explosive shell? That's 80 miles. When did the First World War end? 1918. After that, you would have finished your foundation, and you would just have your English left here. So in this lesson, you're going to combine 2 of the skills that you learn, fact retrieval and inference questions. You're going to combine them, inference, and you're going to combine them and answer questions about both of them. So first, you're going to have your video with Mrs. Fozzard. You're going to look at how to answer fact retrieval and inference questions. There, you are going to do a few practice ones yourself. After that, you would have your independent task here. So first, you've got your reminders here. Then you have your independent task. This following extract is taken from the Weird Stone of Brisingamen by Alan Garner. So here you would read these two pages here, and you've got 6 questions here. So number 1, what type of bird was watching Colin and Susan? That would be a crow. A cry answered from among the rocks. What was the cry? It was an echo. What did the strange figures look like? Find 2 things. So you could have 3 feet high, 3 feet high, man-shaped, thin, wiry bodies, broad, flat feet and hands, and things like that. So, what were the strange creatures carrying? They were carrying a black rope, net like a spider's web. So, what did the children do when they saw the strange figures? They stood still and then they ran. Why did the children want to get to an open space? Because they thought they would be able to run away from the creatures because they had longer legs. After that, you would go mark it, and after you would have marked it, you have your exit quiz. So here, which of these of the following is not a synonym of outlandish? Here, it's ordinary. Here, you would need to read the text here. You'd need to read the text there and then answer these. Why was he looking for a recognizable landmark? That would be because he was lost and didn't know where he was. What was about 100 feet above them and to the right? That would be a tooth-shaped boulder. They began to flounder up the hill. What does this suggest about how the children were feeling? That would be panicked and scared. Beneath the knee-high sea of dead leaves, what does this suggest about what the place was like? The answer here is they were struggling to move. After that, you would have finished your maths and you would have finished the lessons for today, and you would have done this. So, well, there's not much more to say. So I guess I'll see you tomorrow, and goodbye, and stay safe.